Hey everybody, welcome to Your Beautiful Table, a YouTube channel all about helping you make your tables beautiful. Today I've got a review of Bath & Body Works Garden Greenery candle, so stay tuned. Thanks everybody for coming on back. If you're new to the channel and you like content about home fragrance, candles, tablescapes, china, table linen, silverware, glassware, you're in the right place because Your Beautiful Table, that's what we talk about. So consider subscribing, and to those of you who are old friends, I'm really glad that you're here. I'm mixing up our settings a little bit, so I've been working on my lighting a little bit this weekend, and so I'm changing it up. Let me know what you think of the change in sets. I've been trying a few different angles here in the house to get the best video, so let me know what you think. So today we're going to talk about the Bath & Body Works Garden Greenery candle, but be sure to stay tuned to the end of the review because I share with you how to win free candle stuff. Okay, so Bath & Body Works is well known for their candle fragrances, and I get a lot of my home fragrance candles from them, and this is one that I bought last year, and unfortunately it's no longer or currently unavailable on Bath & Body Works website, but you can find Bath & Body Works candles at resellers and on Amazon, so check it out. I just wanted to go ahead and bring this review to you in case you're in the market or happen to see one in one of those spots. So I was attracted to this candle because it is a really beautiful candle. So the candle itself has a black plastic wrapper that has different herbs and flowers on it. So we see some basil here, some like purple basil, and there's some regular basil, and there's some mint. And I don't know what this white flower is supposed to be, but it just looks really great. And I like the black background. This reminds me of the Nest Fragrances candles and also their perfume and personal fragrance lines. A nice label here. It's got actually raised lettering. It's hard to see, but you can feel the difference in texture with Garden Greenery there, and a nice gold border around the label. The top of the jar is a glossy painted metal jar with the white barn label. You can see this still gets fingerprints. I don't love that shiny high gloss because of the fingerprint situation. And of course, like all Bath & Body Works candles, it's got the silicone gasket on the inside. This candle, now I'm going to give away some of the comments I have about the candle when I turned it over, is a 3-wick candle, and the wicks have done pretty well. But if you can look in there, you can see some of the comments I'm going to have. So let's talk a little bit about the fragrance notes on this candle. So Bath & Body Works says that it's a sweet apricot, fresh basil, bright mint leaves with essential oils. Now, those of you who are familiar with Bath & Body Works know that these candles are 14.5 ounces, and they offer somewhere between 25 and 45 burn time hours, which is pretty good. You can get this one, this candle, at a reasonable price point. The retail price, which is marked on the bottom, is $24.50. But those of you who are friends of Bath & Body Works know that they have regular sales and coupons. So be sure to stay tuned to the website, and they have regular sales throughout the year. And so you may be able to find Garden Greenery on sale and a clearance or something like that. So overall, my experience with this candle has been really great. I particularly like the fragrance. So it is wintertime here in North Carolina right now, and I was looking for a little pick-me-up, some hope for spring, and this was just the ticket. So when I smell this candle, the main thing that stands out to me is that sweet apricot fragrance. If you've ever had an apricot, it is a juicy, almost like peachy fruit, and dried apricots too are really yummy. And so I make a recipe, a tagine recipe, where I use dried apricots, and gosh, it just brings back that summertime fragrance, the sort of late spring, early summer, when fruits have ripened, are beginning to come in, and that was just, it took me away from the cold gray rain of the winter weather, which was just what I needed. Now, it says fresh basil, and I don't smell the basil in this candle, but I do catch a little bit of mint, but what I get more than that is green. So when it talks about Garden Greenery, the basil and mint combine to have this green note, and it almost smells like a little like peach Bellini. So that crisp note in the peach Bellini candle, that sparkling note, the Prosecco component of the peach Bellini candle, that's what's coming through here. It is a strong apricot and scented candle, and this had really great fragrance intensity and throw. From the moment I lit the candle and it formed a full wax pool, which was really quick because these 3 wicks were robust and bright and they helped to melt the wax really quickly. It was definitely room filling for sure, a house filling probably. I could smell it in both levels of my home. I burned it here in the bedroom. It was a really nicely scented candle. It wasn't the strongest candle I've ever experienced from Bath & Body Works, and I don't know if that's just because the apricot itself was a sweeter fragrance, and so therefore just lighter and less in your face, and so it was more nuanced and approachable, but it came off as a little bit less intensity. So on a scale of 10, I would give this like an 8 or a 9. Definitely room-filling fragrance for sure, and it was a pleasure to burn. The candle smelled the same all the way through. It didn't have any sort of scorching or burnt wax or any of that kind of scent as the candle went through. But there were some challenges that I'll share with you about the burn experience on this candle. So the wicks were really robust on this candle, and you can see as I share it with you that they made these 3 really thick rope wicks. Those 3 thick rope wicks generated a lot of heat, and it created some soot on the sides of the jar, and this candle actually smoked a little bit. You can also see the wax scorched and had some black swirls in the wax. So this created a really deep and full wax pool, but it meant that the wax pool got really hot, and the wicks, I think, were just too strong for the wax, and it was a really hot burning candle. And so rarely do I see smoke from a Bath & Body Works candle, but this candle actually smoked. And so I had to blow it out, let it cool. I trimmed the wicks, hoping that it would stay in the right wick to wax ratio, and it did. And wow, even on cold, this has a nice scent still. But you can see that it just burned really hot. So while it had nice fragrance intensity and throw, and it had good longevity, and the fragrance blend was really great, it was a little bit too intense. And I know it's hard probably to get the wick and wax, components together, but this one, it just burned a little hot. Now, it just made for a poorer aesthetic experience just looking at the residue on the jar, but since this has this black wrap, you don't notice it. So it wasn't until you looked down in the candle and really looked at it that it had that burnt wax down at the bottom. So overall, this candle would be a repeat buy for me, especially because it has such a fun, fruity apricot scent that was really like uplifting here in these dark winter days. It's definitely one that I would consider again. I felt like the greenery component was really not like, so garden greenery really probably isn't a very good description for this candle. It needs to be like apricot greens or fresh apricot or apricot orchard or, something along the lines of apricot. I think garden greenery, I was looking for a garden floral, and that's not what's here. It's an apricot scented candle. Lovely, fun, fruity, great for spring and summer, or those days in winter like I was, like where you like need some oomph. But it wasn't a garden greenery kind of fragrance. It wasn't a garden scent, and that's what I was looking for, but I was pleasantly surprised with this apricot candle. So overall, a great candle from Bath & Body Works, a nice price point, a good performance, and nice fragrance. So if you stay tuned with us this far, know that we have a newsletter, and that's the way I share, celebrate the achievements on our blog and website with you. So if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll be automatically entered to win when we have giveaways. And I do giveaways when the YouTube channel reaches different milestones. And so you put your email address in there. I send an email probably once a week. It's in a MailChimp format, so it's up to you. You get to control the mail, but that's the way I reach out. So use an email that you actually use, because I've reached out to folks before when they've been the winners and they haven't responded, so I had to pick somebody else. So be sure to use an email address that you really use. So friends, thanks for watching this review of the Bath & Body Works Garden Greenery Candle here on your beautiful table, and we'll see you next time.